semifinals between Fnatic and Mad. Against all expectations after that second game, here we are in Game 5. Mad Lions have momentum. They are on the cusp of victory. Fnatic, one game is all that it comes down to.
It's a quick hot drop in the draft, isn't it? Fnatic side selection on blue side here. See if they can revamp that draft a little bit. The Rell isn't working for Fnatic, but the Azir is working for Mad Lions. They haven't found a way to shut it down, and pinching Nisqy in the first couple games was their real advantage that they had in these drafts. Is Azir first pick worth it? Is Alistar worth a ban here for Fnatic? There's a couple of things up in the air. The Ivern might slip through if that's the case. The Maokai might slip through if that's the case.
Nerves, you have to imagine, from the coaching staff, knowing that they need to do their best to set their players up for one last battle here in the semifinals.
It's Kalista ban.
Game.
I feel like Noah's been really suppressed these last two games up against this Kalista. He hasn't really found his footing in these games to get himself involved in these fights. Maybe he's calling, you know what, guys, I think Alistar's a problem, but can we take away Kalista? I feel like he probably feels like this lane phase is too much. He needs something that can get into the mid game safer.
I think it's also just how impressive Carzzy and Hyilissang have been in fights. The Alistar going in, getting that reset with the Kalista, finding another opportunity to go in. It's such a powerful combo, and it's not going to be there. Now the chase band as well. Ivern, the trees are up.
Yeah,
they're ready to fight.
Is Azir the most valuable pick in the series? I think Fnatic are debating. It's Ivern, yeah, but they could get Rell Azir here, Mad Lions, pretty easily. They could get Azir Maokai. They have Renekton open. So they believe in Razork's Ivern. What's their response to the Azir then? I wonder if Mad Lions are going to want to it with the Maokai here.
Maokai coming through as expected once it is locked in, although Mad Lions can't take their time. I mean, a lot of pressure again on these first two picks, because whatever you leave up and available in terms of meta powerhouses, you know Fnatic are going to snatch up. So the Rell would not be surprising. The Azir as well, based on what we've seen in this series, has to be taken.
I think they might have to do Azir Renekton, you know.
Yeah.
I think giving Wunder blind Renekton, he has a lot of power in that lane phase, and he actually has a lot of pressure. And you can pick up Maokai here, but they're not going to pick it. You can pick up Rell, it's unlikely they'll pick it. But if you don't pick up Renekton, I feel like Fnatic's going to take Renekton Xayah here or something on 2-3. Go back to comfort.
Yeah, I think the Renekton's too strong. I think you kind of have to, but
wow.
Not going to be the case. They're going to take the Rell, so I think, yeah, you're going to get the Renekton on the opposite side. As you're saying, I think you can go back towards the Xayah. You've got great disengage for a lot of what the Azir and the Rell want to try and achieve in these fights. And then it's just a case of, do we end up going for something where maybe they try and steal away the Alistar? Or what exactly do you want to try and go for here?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Taking their time.
Maybe they pivot, you know, and they just put Wunder on like a Poppy or a full tank on 4-5, and they just pick like Xayah Rakan here. Or Syndra. Wow.
Coming out, I mean, a bold call out.
That's what won them their game 5 last time. You know, they played the Syndra into a tough comp. I think it was like Azir Ezreal they played it against. But they somehow found their way back into the game despite losing early.
It was that single target CC that was just so obnoxious to deal with. The stun from the Syndra into the lockup from the Ivern. It was like, if you get caught, you don't get to move. And now you're getting rid of one of the most safe AD carries in that Xayah. And now it's a case of what does Carzzy want to try and bring to the table? Is it just go back towards the edge or try and have that self-peel?
What can they do to also to fight for bot lane priority? We've seen how key it is. Again, we talk so much about mid-jungle, but the team and the side that has had bot lane prio has freed up their jungler to do essentially whatever they want in the early game. This would be a bold bet, most certainly. Another AP jungle coming through. Elyoya doesn't want to risk it. Goes with a safe choice here in game 5.
It's kind of a double flex, that Maokai Rell, really, isn't it? But we've had a taste of Elyoya on carries, now he's back on tank duty. So Mad Lions are playing the front to back.
I think they have to ban the Alistar here, though. I think Alistar is going to do so much work for you. Can tank up the Maokai, can tank up the Rell, sets up beautifully for the follow-up for Fnatic as well. You just do not want that pick slipping through.
I think the tough thing about banning the Alistar is Nautilus is one, Rakan is another, Alistar is another. There's 3 engage supports here that Mad Lions are going to give away. You could give them Rakan and play Maokai support into it. You know, Beryl was playing that in the LCK. It works really well. All you do is just W the W of Rakan and he can never knock you up. Alternatively, you could give them the Alistar and play Maokai. I think Alistar ban has to come through, you're right. They might get Rakan, Xayah Rakan, but I think you can't give Hilly Alistar, right? That's
game 5 against a player of Hyilissang's pedigree and experience. Giving him a champion that can single-handedly win the game with a flank is a terrifying prospect, regardless of the impact on the draft.
Yeah, it's just Trymbi will get the Alistar, right? Or he will get the Rakan. I think Hilly can pick a champ to negate it, but Xayah Rakan is so strong. But Alistar is also really powerful. Yeah, they're going to give Alistar to Fnatic. I don't know if Trymbi will pick it, though, you know? Like, Trymbi I'll check now how many Alistar games he has, but I feel like his engaged supports are really...
And it feels like a call-out on his champion pool that they took away specifically the Rakan and the Nautilus, and not the Alistar. Nautilus in general, just safe blind, right? Not the flashiest champion whatsoever.
He's had like 7 games on the Nautilus as well, so it's definitely been his most played and the one he wants to go towards. But I think here Xayah going to have to come through as well, just to try and get Carzzy off of something that's good into the Xayah.
Yeah, I think it will be Alistar for Trymbi. He's got 5 games, 1-2, lost 3. Unless he wants to pivot and go for Melio, but again, you're playing Ivern, you need a melee support, you need an Alistar here for Fnatic. So what does Matt pick up on AD? Do they take Renekton away here? Or do they just take, something like the Kai'Sa? I think that's going to be Kai'Sa Rell then, but again, it's a Maokai, it's an Alistar pickup likely, right? I'm not sure what else Trymbi can lean towards, but I think, Wunder has a lot of blind picks here. Renekton, Poppy could do well, I suppose. Not the best against their comp, but Casante's open, Ornn's open, I don't think he'll struggle.
What is the option going to be here? Fnatic really taking their time, knowing that it is do or die. Despite an okay win record, Trymbi still locking in the Alistar, taking as much time as possible to lock that one in so they can debate what the blue 5 pick has to be for top lane.
Did they try and jump ahead and take the Poppy here? I don't know. Looks like it is just going to be the Renekton.
It's going to be Renekton Cassante, isn't it? Is Cassante the play here?
I think Poppy could be so good, though, if you're trying to block this engage from the Alistar. Like, you already know there's going to be insane follow-up, so just trying to get something that can play towards that front line and try and tank some of the follow-up CC could be fantastic for Mad Lions. But
what about Gragas? Nah, too much AP. Yeah, I think it must be like something like Cassante. I mean, Poppy makes sense into Renekton Alistar, but if you're going into Syndra, Xayah, Ivern, you're not moving. You're dead. So it seems we've come full circle. Both teams have gone for this kind of front-to-back team fight. As much as Fnatic solo lanes don't have like that innate DPS in the late game, they have insane amounts of bursts, and the Ivern makes up for the sustain through fights with the Xayah by his side. So Mad Lions, Azir, Kai'Sa, front-to-back, Maokai, Rell engage. Everything paints the same picture for both drafts. Fnatic might have a little bit more lane pressure in the early stages, mostly in solo lanes or kill threat. But then again, Elyoya has more threat of ganks than the Ivern, right? So it's a give and take, but yeah, this is the last game for both these teams. And it could be one of these teams' last game until the World Championship.
I just feel like it once more, though, a huge amount of pressure on these bottom sides. You look towards the potential pressure for an Alistar engage, followed from the Ivern, Xayah route. That's an instant kill. You look towards Hilly and Elyoya, what they can achieve together if they can sync up. And that seems to be where the majority of the pressure is settled in this series.
Yeah, we've had 40 kills per game, but I feel like something tells me this game is going to be slower, dead quiet. This game feels a bit different.
Now that everything is evened up, now that Mad aren't fighting from a deficit, will they temper their aggression, or will they continue to go wild on the Rift, to risk it all every single time? We are moments away from this game 5, do or die for both sides. One of these teams will go home. One of these teams will walk away with 3rd seed and nothing else. It is time to get into game 5, Mad versus Fnatic. Single game left. Both these teams are betting it all on these compositions. They both faced drastically different journeys. For Mad, it is a story of inconsistency. Great until they weren't. But here in game 5, perhaps they can redeem themselves from the lackluster start to the series, find themselves once again in the finals. For Fnatic, it has been steady improvement against all odds, against countless roster changes, against a broken hand for their primary top laner. They managed to find a way to be one step in the LEC Season Finals.
Just another year as a Fnatic fan, really, isn't it? It's just it's never the easy road, it's always the Fnatic road. So Mad Lions were looking for some kind of level 1 there. Interestingly, they got their red buff warded out, and Fnatic put a ward on their blue too. So both of these buffs are warded. That's going to sting the early game for Elyoya.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they managed to spot the entirety of Mad Lions as they walked away from that top side on the warded red buff set up nicely for them to get that invade. So already, a ton of information for Fnatic. It's just a case of what do they want to try and achieve with it. Ivern going to be starting off on that top side, so Carzzy and Hilly going to be able to, well, going to be looking to try and push back knowing Trymbi off this level with Alistar.
Do we see topside pressure? Something we've essentially seen very little of this entire series.
I don't think so, you know. I think both these top laners are just going to farm it out. unless Elyoya does 3 camps top gank here, I think it'll be in isolation until the mid game or until the Herald fights. I really think bot lane is just the essence of the entire game. So Elyoya went Raptors to Krugs here. He could lose out. Oh, this is really risky, Razork. I mean, Elyoya might just flash to interrupt it, but I think he's just out of range.
Yeah, has to get the channel off. Doesn't have enough time, so immediately finish the channel, smite the objective. And is just going to walk away and take it in style.
Oy, that hurts Elyoya. He needs to get towards blue quickly or Gromp level up. Fight in bot side.
Hyilissang poking here. Alistar level 1. We've highlighted it in previous games in this series. Notoriously weak. Easy for Hyilissang to just walk up and get free damage.
Can Yoya use that bot push here to maybe try and counter invades, try and get Razork's red? Could be tricky.
That's what I'm thinking, because you can see at the moment Razork has to try and clear it all this top side. And it looks like it's kind of a bit of a weird one where you end up with a split map on towards the top side, which isn't really what you want to try and go for. No real control over mid though, makes this very dangerous. And Hilly
coming in, immediate response now coming from Trymbi, but he takes a ton of damage on the backside of that trade. He gets the ignite from Hyilissang, but it might just not be worth the health.
Ouch. Humanoid.
Scatter the weak, excellent.
Yeah, one of his comfort champ, Syndra. He does not miss those. He might have missed a few Serath ults, but these Syndra Qs, these Syndra stuns. Again, just one of his favorites. Yoya's going to finish off the blue. Razork will secure his red pretty easily, I think. Doesn't need the smite, it looks like. Can just mark them up, use the smite for the crab. We'll see if he can get this bot crab, try and steal it away, but Yoya's ready.
That's what I was going to say, you got complete control of the bot lane from Mad Lion, so Elyoya should be in position here to just go for the crab after it spawns, have support coming through from his bot side. And Humanoid relatively low, so I don't know if they can really try and contest this as Razork.
Razork continuing to walk up, has the luxury of the red buff. And just poke a bit here. Mad Lions, of course, have bot prio, so Razork really can't afford to stick around for too long. Would need to channel before he could smite, so doesn't have an option really to take this crab.
Matt's going to get squeezed here into this choke. Razork has the mid push. I think Matt just needs to go. Pull the trigger onto Razork.
Managed to connect now, trying to lock up the immediate turnover, and Carzzy again not taking any damage. They're trying to burst down a single member. It's going to be a 1-for-1.
Trymbi's alive!
Trymbi's still living! The passive coming through with the flash! The flash in game 5! He will get a kill back!
What a fight from Fnatic. Trymbi combos in. I thought Matt thought that he was probably already dead. But the bush comes out. I think maybe they lost vision of him. The shield came through. Trymbi then flashed to the back of the dragon pit to force Carzzy to chase him in there. Ends up dying, but 2 big kills over to Fnatic. Big bot wave crashes. Crabs in their favor.
I mean, that is a massive win, and honestly, should have been Mad Lion's play, right? They just weren't able to get there in time, and Noah Trymbi able to follow up onto that bottom lane play. And now 2 kills going across, 1 going to the Ivern, not so hot, but having that kill to match for Noah in that bot lane is going to be massive.
Yeah, we saw both top laners use their flash. Wunder was really low. It looked like Chasy was getting close to a solo kill there. He's TP'd back. Chasy's running back to the lane. So top's in isolation, yes, but Chasy has TP advantage at the moment. Nisqy's hovering around mid, trying to fake base perhaps, just trying to catch this last wave before he takes the recall.
Also, Elyoya just falling behind once more because of that play, right? He doesn't get the Scuttle Crab on bot side. He end up losing out on that play on top. Does just manage to get Scuttle on the top side. But it means that now you got Razork who's coming back out onto the map. He's in a really good spot, has that Boots of Lucidity. So this Ivern in a pretty spectacular spot as they start to move in towards the next passage of play.
Sitting comfortably, Trymbi waiting over the wall, ready to Hex Flash if necessary, if he can find the angle. Hyilissang just trying to clear the wave, gets down a bit of a stun. Trymbi now firing back as the Aftershock starts to fade. But as you highlighted previously, getting the early kill onto Noah, allowing him to buy the Noon Quiver, hoping to even up some of the CS discrepancy we're currently seeing. 1 kill to 1 and 80 carries overall. Carzzy has been the star in game 3 and 4, but it was Noah in game 1 on the Xayah who made such a mark on the series.
If you cast your mind back to game 1, what we were trying to highlight was the mid jungle on both sides. And then it kind of fed over into the bot lane going, well, this has actually been the main focus. But realistically, I think Razork and Humanoid are going to start to have a bigger and bigger impact on this bot side. As you said, the Ivern already in a good spot. Humanoid just hit level 6. He has fantastic control. And now, as you get this push from Noah and Trymbi at the bot lane, you can lean in towards things like Dragon. You can lean in towards more invades onto the bottom side. I think this is where you're going to start to see this Ivern.
Oh, Wunder threat. Wunder knocked back under tower. Chasy on the chase. Will just barely manage to make it out here.
That was close. Very, very close. Side lanes are tense. Looks like both these side lanes are just constantly fighting. Dragon's still up though. I'm wondering when Matt's going to pull the trigger on a Dragon start. I feel like that's been on the table for the past few waves. Elyoya's finished his top side. Need a little bit of vision here as Nisqy comes back to mid. He's got the Mercury Treads, his first item, trying to be safe up against that Syndra and Ivern. Razork's moving down from the top side. Matt's still yet to start the Dragon. There's a pink in Tri-Bush for Fnatic in case they want to go for this bot dive, but it should be a stacking wave. Looking at their movement on the map, Matt must have a bot stack here. Yeah, they do. So they're trying to crash dish and zone them away, but the pink's going to spot them. Razork's running through mid, so Mad see the enemy jungler coming down. They're going to have to back away here and turn this into a dragon, I think. Nice idea for a dive. But are they going to turn this into a dragon? Yoya's resetting. Carzzy's basing. No, they don't fancy the objective.
I don't think you can. Humanoid moves back to mid, completely clears out that wave, and if you try and contest that river control, Razork and Humanoid are going to cause you absolute misery. So Nisqy forced to go back to lane, bot lane back under control, and I think that's the biggest problem that you're going to have here is Mad Lions and trying to set up this control for Dragon. It's just how strong Syndra is going to be in that mid lane.
I think what Fnatic will do is just transition this into top pressure. Look at Trymbi's reset timer. Bot wave's crashing. Xayah is close to level 6. Run out top side, maybe full swap if you want to. Mad Lions are he's just pulling the
Big Raptor kidnapped.
Nisqy
flash in, is going to get the pushback. Now Chasy can step in, manages to stop the stun from coming through as well. Unstoppable there. Humanoid in trouble. Overstaying his welcome on the cheeky peek in. Not worth the Raptor whatsoever.
Mad win the top side fight. It looked a little bit sketchy there from Nisqy, but he just pushed him into the Cassante. Razork's going to get that level 6. Trymbi's already invested his time up here. But I think it looks like no Herald for 15 seconds. They get the pick, they use the Azir flash, but they don't get anything yet. Looks like they'll go for Dragon.
I think they got to try and commit for Dragon because Humanoid's going to reset, be back out onto the map, and you'll be able to compete with this play on towards the Rift Herald. So they're like, look, we'll just use that advantage to start up the Dragon as we can. But I think for Fnatic, you're kind of happy that you're still going to get a Rift Herald out of the invades at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a slow game. 4 kills in 8 minutes.
Yeah, what is this pace? We need to get to 40 kills to get to 200 kill series. But I have a feeling we're going to be a little shy of that, as you said it in the draft. I mean, in Game 5, when the pressure is on like this, teams just feel generally a lot less risk-prone, and why bet at all on a single play? That said, gold dead even, 1 Drake to Mad Lions, but the Herald to the opposite side. Noah has cleanse as well as ultimate. Is just going to be forced to use the cleanse here.
That's a tough chunk because Razork's on the top side. Yoya's looking mid. Nisqy doesn't have the flash, doesn't have the pushback. Razork can match this.
I love this from Elyoya though. He kind of just walks into mid, gets control for Nisqy. I actually thought they might just use that to shove in mid and then threaten a potential bot dodge.
Trymbi's going in.
But pulverizing Knight already now ticking. Hyilissang trying to flash in to turn the play in an instant. They kill him before the ult can even come out. They make it happen, and Hilly still lives. How do they make it work every time?
Trymbi knew he couldn't keep going forward. He would have given his life for the life of Hilly, and Carzzy would have been happy to take that trade. Now Nisqy going forward.
Dashing in. Triple soldiers. Nice bit of poke on a Humanoid.
2v2 bot going in favor of Mad Lions. Again, that's a 2-1 Kai'Sa with static. Let's watch this again. So Noah has no cleanse, and Trymbi engages it. I don't think Noah can react to this. We'll see. Level up. Trymbi remounts stun into Q. He doesn't really have a frame to ult there. And there's not much he can really do without cleanse. If he had cleanse there, they would easily win that fight. But of course, Trymbi just maybe expecting them to win that one out and turning it into 1-for-1 perhaps.
But again, Hilly coming alive in this last game. He's been an absolute pillar for Mad Lions in these last 2 games. And now in game number 5, making massive plays on the bottom side. 2 kills now for Carzzy. And it feels once more that they're going to have control over this game coming from the bottom side.
Hilly.
Playing with fire a little bit here as Razork comes in. Aftershock still proc. Hilly's going to try to crash down out to safety. Nisqy, is he ready to burn the ult if necessary? The answer is yes. Elyoya's still waiting over the wall, though. We'll be able to walk away without giving a whole heck of a lot.
I'm watching this Wunder TP timer. He's up 20 CS. He's got 2 plates, basically in isolation. He's ahead in XP and his TP's up. Can he use it to his advantage? Can he crash this next top wave and try to TP in on these bot fights where Mad's overextending? Look at that ward in the river on the choke towards blue buff. You know, if Wunder can get a TP in there, that would be ideal. I think Fnatic wants it, but it looks like Chasy's running him down at the moment on top side, trying to stop him from TPing, and he's pushed back.
Making sure Syndra going to pull back the crab just to make sure that Razork can complete the channel. Smite to secure that one as well. A tense exchange on the bottom side of the map. The gold is again still dead. Even so much of that, though, as you highlighted, is in the back pocket of Wunder, who right now is being pushed in, not given an avenue to leave his lane.
I think Wunder catches this wave, resets, and now my question is, where's his TP going? If he's running back to lane, Fnatic have a plan. If he TP's back to lane, then Fnatic are just going to have the Herald mid and sack. I think he might just have to TP back top side. Sante just proxying those waves in. We'll see some pings on the bot side of the map here as Fnatic collapse, but again, their TP is just gone.
I don't think they know that Elyoya is here, though.
Noah now backing off. Has the ultimate up and available. Trymbi as well with the level 6. Trying to find the angle bot side, but it will not come through.
Yeah, ult committed just to try and keep them back. You can see Hilly had gone for the resets, and now he's showing up in mid lane. What can Nisqy do?
Nisqy. Scatter the weak is excellent. Hyilissang now is continuing to step forward, but the play fizzles.
1 minute 40 seconds on the Dragon. It's an awkward spot now because Chasy's got the TP advantage, but he's probably going to have to base and TP back because Wunder's got Gore Drinker. He probably wins out on this trade. He's probably going to eat through the wave. Humanoid just trying to buy time in mid as his TP is available. 1 minute 25 on the next dragon. And it's tense. You know, both these teams, they want to complete items. You know, Nisqy sitting on a lost chapter. Carzzy wants to get towards Nashers. There's no real demonic embrace on this Maokai just yet. First strike, red smite, a lot of damage. There's Moonstone on the Ivern, but yeah, Noah's just coming out of base with a recurve bow and a Noon Quiver, so not ideal. When you have carries like Azir, Kai'Sa, Xayah, you really want to wait for the right time to fight. But Razork's up towards his top side. Chasy cancelled his reset. There's a dive potential here, but Elyoya's around.
Has to survive this, has to hold on. Unstoppable for now. Manages to push Wunder back. Level 10 is going to bring it back with the waiting arms of Elyoya. But Wunder trying to finish the kill, but Chasy will walk away. 34 HP. Wunder now wants to turn his focus onto Elyoya. He's shielded up. He's empowered. But the arcane smash stops the play in its tracks. And here comes Nisqy. Has to be careful though. Wunder is still so powerful. Nisqy may have bitten off more than he can chew. He's forced to use the pushback, but the root connects, and in goes Wunder. Nisqy holding on for dear life. Will just barely manage to make it out, but it's another TP. Cassante on the way in.
Can they re-dive him? Can they go for it again?
The knockback is there. He has no ult to escape this time around. Chasy. Oh no, it's a terrible TP in game 5, but a kill traded back as Humanoid gives his life to the tower.
It's an execute. They will end up getting the push in mid for Carzzy, who will get at least a plate, but in bot side, they're losing everything. It's a disaster for Mad Lions. They had the control to try and set up for Dragon. They tried to throw everything into that top lane play, and it's Fnatic who come out on top.
Chasy greets the reset. He stops it, trying to catch a wave. Razork pulls the trigger. Nisqy has to collapse. Carzzy has to abandon bot. Humanoid TP's in. Couple plates over to Noah. Couple plates over to Carzzy. The game's still pretty even, but Fnatic, in the long run, I think Wunder's going to get this top tower. He doesn't have TP for Dragon though, so maybe Mad Lions can look to set up on that bot side. Kenny's trying to stop Razork from getting this crab.
Uses the Ignite to try to deny the channel, but sadly Razork is able to complete it, so we'll be able to smite it away now. He continues to pick up his own camps.
It was only one kill that went over in that whole exchange. One was an execute, but one actual kill went over.
The thing is, though, you've now got Razork, who's incredibly low, trying to move over, so Mad Lions kind of spot this. They go, right, we can start up this Dragon, but look at where their bot lane is positioned. By separated here, Fnatic know it. They're going to try and brute force their way into the...
Yeah, they got it. Yeah, they got it. Chasy no TP, they don't know where Wunder is. This is a game of vision. Mad Lions are not sure. Look at their vision right now. They don't really have any vision on the bot side, and they don't know where Wunder is. So there could be a Renekton in the brush coming out of red buff. You can see the Kai'Sa Ws are being used to try and snipe him. Nisqy no flash sitting under this bot tier 1 that's really low. He's being a bit greedy down here, Nisqy, as Trymbi can maybe look to flash combo him. We'll see if he can interrupt the dash.
Nisqy no flash.
All of Fnatic's here.
Ultimate up and available.
Daisy can tank.
Flash forward, he just raw predicts it. It's an easy call out, knowing it's the only avenue of escape, but Trymbi finds the angle.
Game 5, and it's the greed that's coming back to bite Mad Lions. Chasy top side, Nisqy bot lane now. Mad don't get the Dragon, but with everyone from Fnatic on bot side, they'll be able to trade for Rift Tower.
It's not the worst actually for Mad. They lost bot tower, yes. They got mid tower and a Herald for it, right? So in terms of raw gold, not the worst for Mad. They got Alistar flash as well, so that frees up Carzzy for the next fight, if there is one around mid. The problem is Nisqy doesn't have his Mythic yet. He needs to get that Mythic. It's 15 minutes in the game and he hasn't completed it. We'll see if he's got it as he runs out of base here. Looks like he's sticking around. He's got it, right. So the Azir finally got his first item.
Yeah, the biggest problem that I see for now, though, is that like Fnatic basically have control over side lane. Wunder beating Chasy. Humanoid is able to push out against Nisqy because of the threat that you always have, like Razork or Trymbi or someone showing up. So it means he should be able to get control over sides. Group onto mid, and the mid lane tower, half HP. You'll clear that very, very quickly. So I think that's where now Fnatic will get to even up the trade afterwards, even though the Rift Tower went across the Mad Lions.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to drop this. You're right. Carzzy's got the Nashers. 2-item Kai'Sa is online, but Humanoid just using those Hex Gates towards mid. Towers maybe going to fall here. Noah's the only one hitting it. Mad are collapsing down. They're going to have to stop for now.
Fnatic now collapsing back down towards the Dragon Pit. No Dragon to take, but taking control at least of the bottom side jungle, as you highlighted, using the Hex Gate to invade. Blue buff up, it would appear.
Wait,
so.
did they just Syndra W the blue buff?
Wunder?
The Ivern?
Swippy swap in there with Hyilissang.
I think they just used the Syndra W to pull the blue buff, then Razork marked it and smited it. So that was pretty cool. Stole that one away. They really want that mid tower though, don't they? 3 minutes away from that Dragon spawn. There's no side lane tier 1, so Fnatic don't really have an objective right now. The only thing they can play for is that mid tower, but Mad, no, that's their only play.
Slowly walking away, and again, the tension in this game palpable. 3K gold lead for Fnatic. Feeling pretty comfortably in control. Carzzy, 2 items already, however. 3 items is really going to start to be terrifying. And despite the sheer amount of AP on this composition, there's not a true tank on the side of Fnatic to mitigate that. We'll see if Wunder wants to start going towards something like a Maw to mitigate the carry threat here.
Yeah, I think a lot of this, though, is going to be a case of, like, just Wunder, how does he try and use these side lanes? Like, you can see at the moment he's starting to get that control, he's going to push in, and we've already seen him trying to group onto this top side, but Mad trying to respond by immediately going bot with this group.
Mad going to force the play. The rest of Fnatic waiting behind, trying to zone away. The Herald for sure is going to get the charge, but now it's Wunder on the backside. Creep wave to dash through if he needs it. TP responded by the side of Mad, but Carzzy's getting lower and lower. Hyilissang now flashing in, Carzzy flashing out to safety. All of Mad on the retreat. Running up river as fast as they can towards their mid lane. Elyoya will also flash out to safety. It's chaos on the bottom side of the map.
But Fnatic's been bamboozled. Carzzy went forward, so they all turned his attention towards him. He flashes out over the pit, and Fnatic can't chase, although Hilly getting a bit greedy with the reset, so Fnatic will shove him off. But I mean, the fact you got to escape away from that, well, you don't get to keep the TP on Chasy, but you get away. It's a big win for Mad.
Does Fnatic get the mid-tier one? Wunder's hovering around. Nisqy stopped his pace. Wunder's contesting the Raptors, needs to be careful. I think Fnatic are going to have to back off. Wow, so TP invested, nothing comes of it. Couple summoners used, Yoya, Hilly and Carzzy losing their flash in that exchange, Trymbi as well. But no one dies again. Wunder just going to get away from that one. Side lanes need to be caught here by Mad Lions. One worry I've just realized for Mad Lions is that's a lot of AP. That's an AP Kai'Sa, that's an Azir, that's a full AP Maokai as well. So yeah, need to get that magic pen rolling with sword shoes on Azir, that Mercury Treads on Azir, that slows that down, but they're going to need to get Void Staffs ASAP. Banshees to be built for Humanoid if he wants. Looks like it's not going that route just yet.
Potentially Cosmic Drive now coming through, just wants the extra mobility to stay out of reach of a lot of the melee champions. The Aether Wisp could go for something else too. I doubt at this point it's a Lich Bane, so we'll have to see what the focus is here.
50 seconds on the Dragon. Let's see how these teams set up now. It is a Hextech Dragon coming up, of course. Infernal and Cloud at the top means the third Dragon. I'm just looking here, it's Hextech Soul, of course, with the Hextech Gates.
And I think crucial to keep track of those cooldown timers. Yes, Mad Lions got out with their lives, but can they win a fight when they're down so many key summoners?
Wunder's still on top side with no TP. Mad have sent Nisqy to match because they know that he can actually teleport into a fight, so Mad immediately starts to push in. Hilly's looking, they'll find Trymbi, but they can't really get a position here that they feel comfortable with Humanoid sitting over the back of the pit.
Let's not forget, Mad have a little bit of poke. Saplings, Kai'Sa W's, can they land them? Can they chunk Fnatic? As they try to push this mid tower, the static shift doing work. There's the TP from Nisqy, trying to chunk them out, trying to slow them down. Fnatic trying to brute force their way in to get some vision.
Hyilissang waiting over the wall, just barely spotted. Heck Flash now coming in.
Gonna kill off the Daisy here, see if they can get it. It's actually quite crucial to get that down. Looks like it'll live.
Trinket key to spot the flank there. Could have been disastrous for Fnatic. Have to be careful about overgrouping.
These Ivern brushers are just giving Maokai saplings more damage. It's a bit of a pain. Fnatic are trying to force their way in. The shields are stopping a lot of these Maokai sapling damage, but look at where Carzzy is. Needs to reposition a bit. I don't know if Mad want to stop this. I think they need to look for the turn.
Waiting over the wall. Void Seeker poke will not connect. Humanoid manages to find the scatter the weak.
Oh, it's tense. No one wants to go in.
Fishing for an angle. Crash down now utilized. It's going to be quite some time before Hyilissang has it up and available again.
I think Fnatic going to send Humanoid back to mid. He's going to clear that wave, get mid tower, and then he can always come back into the fight. So Hilly repositioning now, using those Hex Gates to get in behind Fnatic and try and keep them honest.
Humanoid needs to get back down here. As much as he can get that mid tower, this Dragon's going to get quite low. Mad Lions have so much burst for it. My eyes are on Trymbi. His flash just came back up. Carzzy, no flash.
Hyilissang.
Where's he engaged? Where's Maokai?
The Maokai also zone them away from the objective. They can take this one for free. Do they want to take the fight as well? Scatter the weak comes out. Instantly the engage comes through. Trymbi now trying to disengage as quickly as he can. Chasy stepping forward. Trymbi trying to turn the fight. The carry line to the backside. Carzzy still standing. The W goes the wrong way. The feathers come back. Noah, eyes on the prize. Takes down the enemy AD carry, but must flash out to safety. And now it is Chasy and Nisqy. Do they have enough left in the tank? They don't. In comes the Ivern cube, but they've overstayed. One more time from the Azir.
2v2.
Does Nisqy have it in him?
He dodged the stun. Yoya doesn't have flash. Is that just going to be a 3-for-3? Are they out? It was a comedy of errors. So many mistakes amounted to so many different kills. The Alistar W stopped the Kai'Sa ult. Carzzy W'd the wrong way. Then the pullback, he walked into it. But the one who doesn't make mistakes here is Nisqy. Just stands in front of all Fnatic and gets the kills, gets the damage. Razork lands the Q at the end to keep it going. But let's look at this fight again.
Yeah, Razork fishing over the wall for Hilly means that he can't really get into the position. Good stun from Humanoid onto Chasy prevents him from the follow-up, so Hilly's alone in the back line. And then watch this from Humanoid as everything goes forward. You get the engage from Trymbi, and Humanoid then able to get this big stun onto the back line to set them up. But Nisqy flashing forward at the perfect time to get onto Noah, onto Trymbi, and buy space that was necessary in this fight.
You can see the nerves throughout this fight. So many skill shots whiffed, so many opportunities that they could have taken to just solidify it. But yeah, you can see it there. The kill onto Noah with the sapling, the kill with the Leanderies as well. Trymbi kind of scratching his head there. That was basically a 5v3, 5v2, and they just lost out on so many kills. They were way too low over chasing, and it ended up in a 3-for-3. Now Baron contest. It's Mad Lions that got the dragon, let's not forget, and it's Mad Lions that need to play defensive still, catch these side waves. Fnatic's Baron isn't the fastest, so as long as they have some vision on this top side, they should be alright to just keep the scaling game going. How far away is Nisqy from this Rabadons?
That was the big thing for me as well. Nisqy ended up with 3 kills in that, at the end of that fight. Meant that he's going to be in such a good spot. And
Carzzy! Oh, wait. Carzzy going in, just trying to one-shot Humanoid. It's a check rivalry, and he's making it happen. Humanoid flashing off to safety, barely hanging on. Redemption saving the day.
Do they go Baron? Do they pull the trigger? Humanoid has TP, they must know it, so they can't go for it. Carzzy's just used his flash and ult in exchange for Humanoids. They were once teammates, but now they're enemies in this game 5.
That could have been the game-winning play. You can see Carzzy thought he had it, but the healing and shielding from this Ivern keeps that play at bay. Razork, though, stepping forward now, needs to be careful to say that of a potential Baron start, but I think Mad Lions, they tried to make that moment happen, but just couldn't quite seize it.
There's a ward up here that Mad Lions haven't really noticed. I wonder if that's something Fnatic can use with Wunder if they try and pull them around this Baron. That's the only real deep ward they've got. You can see Razork and Trymbi are going to contest these mid-waves and maybe fish for more.
Humanoid, of course, being forced to use the TP. Only real loss for him in exchange for Carzzy's ultimate on the backside of that play. Now chasing on the bottom side, doing what he can to hold the wave. Mad Lions 4 members strong in the mid lane, ready to push in, fight for mid control, fight for Baron control, because again, while Fnatic's Baron not the fastest, Mad Lions can obliterate that objective with the Kai'Sa Azir combo.
It's very hard for Fnatic to try and push this game forward, though. The wave clear from Mad Lions is pretty good when you got the static shiv as well, but also just the fact that every time they try and approach any of these towers, you're running the risk of Elyoya coming in with the ulti, Hyilissang coming in on a flank, even putting yourself at risk of Nisqy going in. So this is where you can kind of see they're getting control and pushing mid, but they're a bit hesitant to suddenly like collapse onto bot tower to try and push an advantage there, because they know they're just putting themselves at risk. So it does feel like it's going to be a case of, right, let's try and play for these objectives, look for picks as Mad Lions are trying to take back the vision that we've already established.
TP coming in from Nisqy, just finished the Rabadons, 2 items strong on the Azir, big spike, no rage bait for Carzzy yet, but see if they want to contest this midwave here in Mad Lions. No flash on Humanoid, let's not forget, Yoya's going to pull the trigger on the ultimate. Can they collapse on the mid laner of Fnatic? This could be a massive pick.
Retreat, Humanoid completely and totally isolated here, but no CC connects, so there's no option for Carzzy to follow up. Humanoid manages to walk away, so incredibly close, but Mad Lions can't find the play. They've given up their ultimate, and it's Wunder on the flank. Chasy is not who he wants to find, however.
No Maokai
to back away.
50 seconds on Dragon, no Maokai ult. Does Fnatic just hold bot side vision? Mad Lions could pull a switcheroo on this Nash here. I think Elyoya might be calling it. He's probably going to pink the pit here and try and clear out some vision. They've got Azir Kai'Sa if they can get over that wall. Elyoya looking for the crab. Fnatic on the way.
Gonna take it, flash out to safety, flash traded.
Oh, there's so much of a threat of a Baron here. Fnatic can't give up this top side of the map. 30 seconds on the Dragon, and the Maokai ult's up soon, but now it's an awkward stare down on this top side. Midwave's coming in though. Both teams will try and get that one pushed, and then we'll see what decisions they make.
Really, just going to be able to back away. Doesn't get hit by Humanoid stun there, but you see Mad trying to see if they can keep push over mid side.
Nisqy's position, I think, that's just threatening this Baron. The Azir is on the
take
top
it down.
side.
Stun going to connect on the Hyilissang, trying to force the fight, but immediately the Q3 coming in from Chasy to stop that one. Nisqy on the flank, Elyoya as well. Void Seeker not going to connect. That's big to deny the poke.
They can turn to Baron. They can just run up there towards the Nash. This Dragon doesn't matter. Fnatic are just playing a game of catch me if you can, chase me into this fog of war. Kai'Sa, Maokai are Mad Lions on Nash. They see Nisqy now contesting his wave, but when they go into the darkness, how do they know when it's going to start? How many blue orbs does Fnatic have? They can't really have any on solo this because Wunder's already reset. There's 1 blue orb.
One taken down.
It's a guessing game. They know where the Kai'Sa is now. I think they should know that the Baron's not being started, so now is when Fnatic can regain control. Now is when they can push them out, and Fnatic should safely be able to go towards this Dragon, but that was a stressful minute or 2 of play.
They can get vision on the Baron, right? But you're going to have to give up all that vision that you've established on the bottom side. Carzzy, though, looking for the reset. He was very low on mana, so they want to try and get that back up before they go for this next fight. So Fnatic, at the moment at least, get some vision on towards Baron, and with Carzzy resetting, will get dragged.
Spots them out, but just not a mistake you can afford to make in a game 5.
He's
easy
alone.
Hextech.
His team's at their tier 2 or top side. He just walked in. He baited them!
Resetting.
They're gonna go for Baron Rush! Mad Lions can look to get this down quickly. Carzzy's not showing it.
It's on vision.
It is on vision, but I think they have the damage. Carzzy needs to get there quickly though. This is gonna get absolutely melted. Where's Wunder? TP in the pit.
now coming in.
Is this gonna work?
Maokai coming out, keeping the jungler out of the pit. They get it! It's insane, but they make it work. Can they walk out with their life? Chasy now bringing Wunder back over the wall into the waiting arms of Carzzy. Carzzy throwing down damage. Sterix now procs Trymbi on the way in, but he says not today. Punting the carry back into the rest of his team. Trymbi managing to find the stun. Wunder there to follow up. Again, the headbutt into the wall. Fnatic not gonna let the bait and switch come through. They turn, they punish Mad Lions, get the Baron, but Fnatic finds so many kills.
They have a mid wave as well. Humanoid needs to push this in and run bot and get a bot wave. They need to try and get 2 towers off this. Fnatic, they've lost the Baron, they got the Dragon. How many towers can they get? It looks like they might only be able to just get this one in mid. But Hilly, was that planned? Was Hilly running in there saying, guys, go Baron, I'll just run in here and bait them into a false sense of security?
Obviously, we would ever know, but you could already see Mad Lions were running towards that top side as soon as Hilly went for it. I think they were already planning, going, hey, look, we can try and get this, sneak it away. And for 1 tower that kills, Mad Lions get the Baron buff out at least, but you see here, they just don't realize that they're doing it on the vision. The TP comes through, and at this stage, it's all everyone for themselves. Just try and get out of the pit, but the damage that Wunder throws down onto Carzzy sets up perfectly here for the rest of Fnatic as they manage to come over the wall. And here, Trymbi, late to the party, but boy, does he make an entrance.
Q flash. You know, Carzzy had both sums there. Carzzy had both summoners, but ends up falling to the Q flash from Trymbi. And so what happened in the long run of this play, Fnatic got 4 kills in a mid-tier 2, Mad Lions got a Baron. Fnatic invested a lot of summoners though. I think only Humanoid has flash up right now. Noah's is down, Trymbi's is down, Wunder's is down. No TP on their top laner either, but this Baron, they can't really get anything off it, but they've slowed the game down.
Difficult situation to be in, most certainly. 3K gold advantage for Fnatic. 3 minutes away from that next Drake, neither side at Soul Point. Chasy gonna do what he can to hold on here, but the siege with the Ivern, with the constant spam of the Syndra Dark Spheres and the Scat of the Week is difficult to manage. Mad Lions grouping on top side just to make sure that the push cannot come through. Wunder.
Hilly.
Looking to lock up Hilly. Root now comes through as well. All eyes on Hyilissang as once again he is caught out. He'll leap out over the wall. Uses the ultimate just to be sure, just to make it out safely, but Fnatic cannot break the top lane tier 2.
I mean, you're realistically not really looking for a fight for Mad Lions anytime soon, so that ult being down doesn't really mean anything, but they keep the top tower, they keep themselves in a decent position, and it means that they're able to hold Fnatic at bay again for the moment.
Mad Lions need Magic Pen. There's Merc Treads, there's Spirit Visages, there's Mauls, there's Negatron Cloaks, Lockets. They need Void Staff on this Azir and Kai'Sa, you can see.
Lightning Jewel coming through.
Yeah.
A little bit of extra pen. Ginsu's passive as well.
There's the second one from Nisqy. I think they realize they need Magic Pen. Mad Lions, you know, giving up this Dragon and getting double Void Staff might just be worth it. Sork shoes on the Kai'Sa. They're not going to get through this front line, I think, unless they get a lot of uptime, but I don't think they're going to be given any uptime. The amount of CC Fnatic have, the Redemption, alongside the Spirit Visage, the lack of healing reduction. Mad Lions on the back foot, but if they can get to those break points, the gold won't matter.
It's true. It's so difficult, though. If they miscalculate in the fights, the shielding coming in from the Ivern on targets with so much magic resistance is going to make them unkillable, especially for Wunder. Ma going to feel good for Noah, but still overall relatively squishy in this game.
They have to be so careful, though, when it comes towards this Dragon, because if you overcommit to a side lane and be like, hey, look, we're going to try and get that farm, it becomes so easy for Fnatic to commit onto the bottom side of the map to just crack open the base and Mad Lions.
Hyilissang.
He's fishing. He's always fishing, isn't he? A little bit of vision, plays down on top of a pink. Just contesting these Wolves Dragons up in a minute. Mad Lions, what do? Do you gamble in and take the Dragon fight to try and keep this game in an even state, maybe find a way to find a miracle fight? Or do you drop this Dragon, give them Hex, Tech, Soul Point, and wait for those Magic Pen items? It's a tough call. Mad Lions, if they get some setup, they can try and poke them out, and then once you've tried your poke, see what you think, you know? If you've got them low, try and fight it. If they're not low enough, just back away. But Mad Lions haven't backed away this series. Even against the odds, they've just gone in and thrown themselves at the wall and seen what's stuck.
They don't have time for a reset. This is it for Mad Lions. Fnatic, they just bought. They're coming back. 3 items completed across the board, and it's Mad Lions who are trying to compete.
Look at this ward that's being pinged there. I think they know there's a ward behind them. Wunder has the TP.
Speed up coming through. Trymbi, again, looking for the angle. Ward spotted out by that control ward, crucially denying that angle for Trymbi to come over the wall.
Nisqy just fought bot wave. He's going to get the reset in here. Doesn't he have Void Staff in base? Matt needs to make sure they don't get engaged on so he can take the space, but they just got stunned.
Immediately the knockback. Nisqy, does he have time? He cancels the recall. Key in the fight to come. Trymbi finding Carzzy, isolating Carzzy. Carzzy ulti got to safety, barely living. Ignite ticking down, but it's not enough. Carzzy's still standing for now, but Noah continues to step forward, uncontested. Noah making it work in the fight. All eyes on Nisqy, and he cannot find the angle. Noah still stands. Fnatic,
It's over.
are still standing.
It's done. Carzzy, can he get Razork? He's going to get rooted up. He's down. Humanoid TP mid. It's a 5-for-0. Matt took the risk, and it didn't work. Fnatic might just win.
Man needed the time, but Fnatic don't give it to them. When the chips are down, they step up again, and Fnatic will crack open the base in front of Mad Lions.
And no matter the roster changes, the unfortunate circumstances, Fnatic always find a way. For the first time since 2021, in miraculous fashion, Fnatic find themselves in the finals here in Montpellier. Fnatic will face down G2 to fight for it all.
The reverse sweep was almost pulled off by Mad Lions. They just fell at the last hurdle. That one fight, did you really have to take it? You know, they'll be kicking themselves, asking themselves, could we have waited for that one more break point?
Just one more second, just one more opportunity to get back to base, have Nisqy TP in. That could have been the difference maker. The fact they had to take a fight on the back foot, Fnatic found that opportunity, and they took it with both hands and made sure that there was no way they were going to let Mad Lions slip away from that one.
When push came to shove, Fnatic held the line. No matter how many crazy plays were thrown at them, even if it cost them losses in Game 3 and 4, they held the line in Game 5, and that's all that matters moving on to the final. Their road doesn't stop here, however. After an exhausting series like this, they will be forced to face a G2 who's gotten to watch every single one of their games. It is a tough path. That said, an incredible series. Commiserations to the Mad Lions. Still will have the pride of representing EMEA at Worlds. But they were so close to the reverse sweep.
What a series. I think Yamato summed it well. Mad Lions level up as the best of 5 goes on, and you saw it here. You know, they're down 0-2. Just throw everything into the early game and double down, and it worked. But it didn't work in the 5th game. Fnatic found their formula to stop it. And they will be playing tomorrow up against G2 in the finals.
Smiles for some, relief, I think, on the face of Noah. It was a difficult series.
But what a well-earned victory. I mean, for a Fnatic that go from the worst split in the entire organization's history to now turning that around in the season finals and going up against their rivals in G2 just to finish.
And you looked at this roster a couple of years ago when they signed the original with, you know, Wunder coming from G2, Razork coming from Misfits, Humanoid coming from Mad. You know, it's like a formula of successful players. But then Trymbi from Rogue. That really made the magic happen alongside Noah. But there's Mad Lions. Next time we will see them, will be at the World Championship. They fought their hearts out despite being up against the wall, backs against the wall. Elyoya, you can see on your screen, just a bit heartbroken that they weren't able to get across the finish line.
Difficult series. You're going to go to 5. You can win in the most spectacular fashion, or you can lose in the most spectacular fashion. And sadly for Mad Lions, they ended up on the wrong side of the coin today. For Fnatic, though, again, the pressure is so hard now. You're facing a well-rested G2, a G2 who's gotten to watch all of your games, knows exactly what you want to go to, or a G2 who plays a completely different game than the Mad Lions.
But this is a Fnatic where Wunder comes in as an emergency, and now this is the 2nd time you've gone to 5 games. If you needed practice for our best team in the league in G2, 2 5-game series, and being able to play on this massive stage as well is exactly what you need.
And remember the ramp up from Fnatic in 2021, a roster that people also expected very little from. Whippo in the jungle, Adam top lane. It felt like a hot mess in the offseason. They managed to make it happen. 5-game series after 5-game series. They played more games in that playoffs than they did in the entire regular season in 2021. Fnatic on the cusp of making the impossible possible. If they can take down G2 tomorrow, we'll see if it can happen. For now, player of the series at LEC on X, Razork, Humanoid, or Noah. It's a 5-game series. Everyone had their moments. Just pick your favorite.
Razork had insane Telia games.
Yeah.
Noah was a bit quiet in game 3 and 4. Came back a bit in game 5, but the first 2 were great. Yeah, it's a really hard one, actually.
Yeah, I don't even know. And even like guys like Trymbi not getting up onto there as well. Like his Alistar performances in that last one was fantastic. So yeah, across the board, Fnatic stepping up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, they actually made
wow.
it. I did not expect Fnatic G2 in these finals.
What do you mean? It's the
Again,
LEC?
they find a way. It's really not scripted. I swear, I don't know how this keeps happening.
It's funny how Wunder has just come full circle, you know?
Yeah.
He's like bench, now he's up against G2 again in a finals. And yeah.
What just a weird road we've walked to get here. Again, another Fnatic top laner with an injured hand, another substitution, another finals.
Maybe another world championship with a difficult wrist, difficult hand, you know?
Yeah.
Guys, we just cast 5
You
games,
need to fix the script.
and we're trying to keep it so serious, but there's just this wave of relief I think that Fnatic probably felt as well, that a lot of the fans felt, that it's just like, what did we just witness? What did we just participate in? This was insanity, this entire series.
Yeah, I think it's also, though, for this Fnatic, at least for me, looking at them, it's like a lot of players that have a lot to prove, right? I think for Razork, as we said, never being able to pick up his first title, now going up against G2, look, it's a hell of a road, but still now getting that opportunity to do so. I wonder that was already down and out, and people are like, you can't do it, now coming back. And then you're looking at Trymbi in that bot lane as well.
Trymbi is the man of the hour. Let's see what he has to say as he is standing by with Laure.
Trymbi, you deserved this one. I'm going to let you put back the earpiece. Congratulations on taking down Mad Lions after 5 games. It's been a long evening for you, I believe. Taking the first 2 games, losing the 3rd one, losing the 4th one. How did you approach the last game, both in draft and mentally, to take this one and turn it around?
Well, honestly, I thought the series would end after the 3rd game, not gonna lie. We did quite a bit of stuff. Like, I think Mad Lions played really well at the same time, but also we didn't really do what we were supposed to, I'd say. And yeah, that's why things were going this way. But yeah, coming into 5th game, I think we just had to, reset mentally and just be sure to be able to play the games that we played previously. And that's what I think kind of happened. I think 5th game was pretty good by us.
On pensait vraiment que ça allait se finir après la 3e partie. Mad Lions sont très bien joués. On n'a peut-être pas joué au niveau des attentes qu'on pouvait avoir. Donc en arrivant à la 5e game, il a fallu qu'on se remette dans le bon chemin mentalement. Et au final, on a réussi à attraper la victoire. Ça n'a pas non plus été facile quand on comprend le chemin par lequel est passé Fnatic ces dernières semaines, devoir changer de top laner, se réajuster à une nouvelle dynamique. How has it been for you for the past few weeks, having to readjust to a new dynamic, switching top laners as well, when you think of the fact that you have to make it to final, and that's the ultimate goal?
Yeah, for sure. Coming into this week and previous week too, there's quite a bit of obstacles for us, that's for sure, and that's kind of what we have to deal with right now. And I'm genuinely so happy that we're able to still showcase that, we're able to win those games, and pretty much for most part of the time in a good way.
Ça n'a pas été facile ces dernières semaines, évidemment, devoir réajuster notre approche avec l'inchangement de top laner, mais au final, on a réussi à se trouver et c'est ce qui fait la force de Fnatic aujourd'hui. How is Wunder doing? How is he feeling with the team? How is it working with him? Is he playing well?
I think Wunder's playing really well, looking at the fact that he says that he didn't play League for a bit and stuff, he was not prepared at all when it happened, and looking at the fact how little time he had in order to prepare, I think he's doing fantastic, and as a person, he's it's so nice to work with him for sure when it comes to how, his experience and the way he talks is so calm, and at the same time, he brings so much joy, at the same time, like the way he banters and stuff. It's really, it's something that I don't think I ever experienced, in the team for sure.
C'est incroyable de pouvoir travailler avec Wunder, tant du côté de l'expérience, mais ce qu'il apporte dans les autres côtés de l'équipe, et surtout compte tenu du fait qu'il n'avait pas joué depuis autant de temps. C'est un plaisir de l'avoir en tant que teammate aussi pour le banter qu'il peut apporter. Et je veux parler de ta performance, Trymbi. Il y a eu un changement ces dernières semaines et il y a un changement, j'ai l'impression, à chaque fois que tu joues sur scène. On a vu la même chose à Malmö l'an dernier. Cette énergie que tu as, cette énergie que tu tires de la scène, quelle est la grosse différence pour toi quand tu joues devant un public comme ça? We see the difference when you play on stage and when you play in the studio. We saw that last year in Malmö, of course, with the energy, the celebrations that you bring. How much different is it for you to play on stage and how differently do you feel it?
The thing about it is that when you feel in the zone, right, when you play the game, like sometimes there's always like pauses, so you have time in between to just figure out what's happening. And then yeah, like for instance, I die. Like today I died a lot because that's just how my champs work. And then I just look at the stage and I'm like, holy shit, there's actually quite a lot of people watching that. And it's so nice. It helps a lot. It's so different. It feels really amazing. And every single eye contact I can make with a fan, every single like moment, it brings me so much joy and I actually believe, you know, that what I'm doing, you know, makes in some way sense, you know.
Ça fait une énorme différence évidemment de jouer devant un public avec l'énergie que ça apporte, avec la façon dont on peut reset aussi entre les parties. Et forcément, quand on a une arène comme ça, remplie de fans qui sont là pour nous soutenir, ça fait toute la différence. Et c'est spécial d'avoir Fnatic en France, généralement. Mais on reviendra là-dessus un peu plus tard. Le chemin est assez similaire que celui que tu as eu l'an dernier. Tu étais avec Rogue pour battre Fnatic, pour arriver contre G2 en finale, pour battre G2 en finale finalement. And it's pretty much similar this year with the way you've been playing and the way you're acceding to finals. You were with Rogue last year, beating Fnatic, making it to finals against G2, beating them 3-0. This year you are with Fnatic, also about to face off against the likes of G2. Is it going to be the same journey for you, Trymbi?
I would love to, that's for sure. But I think right now we just need to make sure we reset mentally and we're able to, you know, come to the best of 5 tomorrow and like, you know, in a great shape. And yeah, this series today was for sure very exhausting, but being able, for sure, if tomorrow, you know, things can happen and history can be made in a way that, yeah, let's say we beat them, I think comparing it to last year, this year, I think it's a bit harder. I mean, for sure, for me, it's like way harder than last year. So, yeah, being able to win against Hansama, for instance, an enemy team, and just getting a trophy again in summer on stage, that would be so many good things that could have happened in one time in one event.
Ça va être assez difficile. Il faut qu'on reset pour demain. Il faut qu'on se remette dans le bon mindset. Les 5 parties d'aujourd'hui étaient assez fatigantes. Et battre Hansama en France, forcément, ça représenterait beaucoup pour moi. Surtout que cette année a été très différente, a été bien plus difficile quand on compare le parcours que j'ai eu par rapport à l'an dernier avec Rogue. Mais évidemment que ce sera le but de gagner en finale. Last question for you, Trymbi. As I was telling you, it's been a decade of League of Legends, a decade of fans in France here just cheering for Fnatic. I think it's one of the most appreciated teams that we have in France, and it was still the case today. How does it feel for you to win with Fnatic in front of the French crowd who was cheering for you all day?
It felt really amazing today. It was so nice to play, and yeah, I felt very similar to Malmo, even better to be fair. Like, this time around, you could already feel that there's so many fans that are actually cheering for you. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess. And bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit?
Yeah.
Perfect, that's a great tribune. Montpellier plus fort pour Trymbi et Fnatic, s'il vous plaît.
Are we starting?
Thank you so much.
Hello? Yeah, we're starting.
Merci beaucoup, Montpellier. And good luck.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Hello. They can't hear you. Oh, they can't hear you. Hello, welcome everybody to PGL, the LEC post-game lobby. I'm joined by Yamato Cannon, by Humanoid, and Razork. By the way, Laure, you're such a smurf. Super impressive. Great to hear from Trymbi, but the real smurfs are here, I think, also. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tired, or is it alright?
I'm kind of tired, yeah.
I have a mix of feelings.
What?
Mix of feelings. Headache and a little bit of emotional.
Oh, a little bit of emotional. You want to drink some water, maybe?
I will.
You have a headache? Yeah, okay, cool. We'll start with you then, Humanoid. Yeah, I mean, we talked, like, I think, in a PGL 2 weeks ago or last week, or when it was also, like, crazy, and you said, well, I don't really feel the pressure until it gets to Game 3, it gets to Game 4, but I feel like this was a little bit different because you could have closed out the series in Game 3. Tell me about kind of the difficulties after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was way more pressured than usually, especially after the duelist games. Because it started out so well, and then when you just start losing, it's kind of hard to come back from it. And I didn't really know if we are gonna be able to perform in the last game. But I guess it worked out, and we managed to just forget about it and play good.
Yeah, what was the biggest problem you had to solve, you think, Razork, in order to win the 5th game?
Well, I was a little bit tilted after the fourth game, so I had to like reset myself and yeah, make sure that it's Fnatic game 5. We won 3 already this season finals, so we were like believing that we were gonna win it.
It's true, actually. That helps.
It definitely helps. I'm curious from your point of view, guys. Now, of course, you have to take series by series, but what are things in the short term that you guys feel that you can bring from today coming into tomorrow against G2?
Well, I mean, they had so much time to see our series, and like we honestly like showed a lot of things and our priorities and stuff. So they probably like analyzed as well. So we'll have to come with something new or something that can impress them or like shock them, because I feel like G2 is the team to beat right now and they're pretty strong. So I mean, for sure, I'm gonna come tomorrow with like really excited to be my first finals, and hopefully we can beat G2.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. It is your first finals, and I think when we've watched you play, this was always going to happen at one point or another. But yeah, how important is it to you that I can see very important, but that you make it there despite kind of everything that's happened this year and how tough it's been?
I mean, it was a hard year, not gonna lie. But right now, I just can't feel more proud of myself and my team that we actually managed to come back, even though we were in a really, really hard situation. And yeah, my first final, I'm honestly like really excited and really emotional. And how did I cried a little bit before? But yeah, it's just like my dream, you know, is to like win LEC. And I mean, we're already settled for Worlds, so I'm looking forward to do it, but I really want to win LEC first.
Yeah, you have someone next to you. Every final he's played in the LEC's won, so.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
That helps, I guess. Yamato, you were singing the praises of both of these guys throughout this. What do you think is the biggest thing